What up, y'all? You know who it is, your boy Jaded Kiss, you know what I mean? Right now with Chris Strong. Shout out to Camden, New Jersey, all my niggas out there. Let's get right into it. Yeah!
BTBTV. Chris Strong, man. Yo, born, let's get him, man.
Yeah, never off plan. Used to get busy with them guns in my hand. 4 or 5 or a black 9 with a grand in my pocket and beef cool as a fan. BTBTV, we are not playing. Y'all just talk, we back it up and down. Sideways, F what y'all saying. We Kyrie and Kanye. This a boss talk, so you clowns should just fly away. Hop on the bridge, throw your frame off the highway. This not a game, this is business, this my way. Real talk, your opinion is nothing to us. We gon' stay on chill, long as y'all don't violate. But it's not fair. We could be cool or your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear. And you could be my friend or enemy, I don't care. And you better beware. Cause we coming for the whole pie and we don't share. No, it just ain't fair. But we the best, I swear. We the best, I stay up in the mix. A project politics, my mood kinda sick. Name well known from the hood to the sticks. 100 on the highway, flying so fast, burn the gears when I shift. Some people kick dirt on your name, what shoes you gave them. Broke your back for them and they got the nerve to play you. Kick raps door off, pushed and shoved my way through. Bum rush the kitchen, put my floor up on the menu. The jealousy be hitting up in jokes. That's why I stay serious like David Banner turned in the Hulk in pure form like the Pope. Haters get infrared beams with the scope, so run and get ghosts. We fight good, boxed in like Floyd on the roast. I'm the great black hope. Man, we the team and they know it coast to coast and it just ain't fair. We could be cool or your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear. And you can be my friend or enemy, I don't care. And you better beware. Cause we coming for the whole pie and we don't share. No, it just ain't fair. We the best, if you with us, put your lighters in the air. No, it just ain't fair.
BTBTV. Just ain't fair, man.
45, salute my boy, salute.
Yeah.
That's how we gonna do it on here, man. Y'all know what it is.
Yo, Born. Show them how we do this, man. BTBTV. We pulling the pulleys. No run, no retreat. Yeah. BTBTV. One more time for y'all in the back. Y'all slow ninjas. Right. Yo, John Gotti flow, rap Pablo, Escobar status, rap game Corleone. I can show you how you lay back and watch your pockets grow. Stay away from devious women, end up like Papa Smoke. Y'all wake up every day twitching like yo, I gotta post. I wake up every day mission, it's $1 million notes. Dominoes, bodies drop, rot stink like holocaust. Broadway, man, if you know, then you know. I came for everything they said I couldn't have. Got that and then some, and then some. My ones on overload till you overdose. Your rappers in the tight squeeze and that clutch like Cobra rope. The okie doke, we don't go for that. All she wrote. Another tale from the street, death and horror flow. The project like a ghost trying to haunt your soul. Another tale from the street, homicide the folks who want to play till them guns scream adios. Another tale from the street, black mafia. So Don Corleone mixed with Al Capone. Another tale from the street, like an opera show. These kids be acting to their life movie curtain closed. Nowadays your foes will plot you wearing Malcolm X hats, 666, the devil on his shoulder won the death match. Reminiscing when more street ninjas was off the hook, chasing D's up off the block, torn and running, get the force, blood on pavement. He's 12 years old and he tough to play with. He don't go to playgrounds, that's his fiends who want their veins stick. We can't miss, we can hit the target with our hands behind our back, our eyes closed and half brainless. Don't play with us. Another tale from the street, death and horror flow. The projects like a ghost trying to haunt your soul. Another tale from the street, homicide the foe. The one that plays in them guns, green adios. Another tale from the street, black mafia. So Don Corleone mixed with Al Capone. Another tale from the street like an opera show. These kids be acting till they like movie curtain close. Yeah.
White Star from Brother Salute. You better get in the White Star. Or we gonna get you, bro.
You're born, let's get him.
Yeah.
Let's get him. Kaz, we up in here, man.
Yo, first of all, I want to say peace to the 5% nation, the guys and nerfs. Assalamu alaikum, alhamdulillah, rahmatullah, to all the true Muslim brothers and sisters out there. This is the King of New Jersey. This is BTBTV. We bully the bullies. I'm your honorable host, born divine almighty Allah. And we ain't no Bloods or no Crips. We doing our own thing. BTBTV just started its own gang like, nigga, what? Yeah, nigga, what? Let's get it, man. Yo, today, man, I've been listening to this nigga, Delray Richardson. I've been running across this video here and there for a while now. I subscribe to him, everything. The first couple of videos about Tupac, I was like, yeah, that's his man's whatever. But then you do 1,000 videos, you got like 300 videos, all of them got something to do with Pac. You know what that telling me is? If you was a Pac stan, or you was Pac's man. And I don't mean man like homeboy, I mean man. Like y'all was prison bus buddies together or some shit like that. Delray? I don't know, bruh. Either you was a Pac stan or you Pac's man. And I ain't talking about man's like me and Wax Dog or me and my brothers. I'm talking about man's like you the girl, he's the girl, one of the two. I ain't sure, bruh. But yo, first I'm gonna tell you what Reggie Wright had to say about this character. Then I'm gonna go to all the stuff he got to say. Everybody else to so-called had a beef with Pac. There was everybody else fall upset Pac. And I never understood that. Now I'm starting to get it though. Now I'm starting to get it, y'all. Let's go.
With criminals and chaos.
This is fun.
What's happening, y'all? It's your man Sam, and here at Viral Hip Hop News. Saying that you were fired 17 days prior. Now I want to ask you about Delray Richardson. What's up with you and that brother? He's saying he's making claims that you stole his whole style, you stole his whole charisma, all this stuff, and now he's also saying that you were fired 17 days prior to Pac's death and had paperwork. What's up with you? You know, I don't know that brother. We never met him or had the opportunity.
Yeah.
Hopefully we do one day, but I from doing research, we've seen that he had some issues with you. So what's up with you two?
Well, just that he's saying that all I have is 3 issues with the man, really. He's saying that Suge, number one, wasn't responsible for Tupac getting out on bail. I can refute that by Tupac's own words. I just say, y'all can believe, listen, whatever y'all want. Whatever deals Suge did to make it happen, then he's ultimately responsible. Just because he didn't cut the check, he had Atlantic Records, you know, who was Pac distributor at the time, put up some of the money, and Interscope and him himself put up some money. Suge ultimately responsible. If Pac would have came home, had a stroke, passed out, died, or whatever, that money was going to get billed back to somebody if they weren't able to recoup it. And who has to pay it back? The person that signs on the dotted line for you. For some reason, he wanted to take that away from Suge. Pac said in his own words, you came, you got me out. I was free and clear with all my management deals and everything, and I signed with you. I wanted to be a part of the family and sign with you. I was like, why are you trying to take that away from Suge? Suge went up there. I rode on the plane to that little prison and drove in cars and slept in the limousine while Suge and David Kenner was inside of the prison with them, you know, from driving in a limo from Canada to, you know, upstate New York, Correction Center. So I'm like, why are you trying to take that? So that's one thing. The second and the most important thing is Suge was just his manager. He wasn't assigned to Death Row. Damn. Okay. That's not true. He was signed. He always hollering death row, death row. This his last song was hollering death row. But okay, well, why? I mean, why is Pac hollering death row? Why is all of that? But why are you trying to say he's not signed to death row? The paperwork got assigned to that was with Interscope and all of that got assigned to death row. And then 3, he always saying that Pac was going to leave death row. Who knows? We never heard that. It doesn't make sense for him to want to leave death row because number one, his attorney, David Kenner, was held on the appeal bond. You're not going to piss off the attorney or the people that's got the rights of trying to fight for you to stay out of prison. He had those people on record, the correction staff, the correctional officers, and everything. You go, can you see me now? That's all he was talking bad about them. Pac did not want to go back to prison, and so you're gonna now fire the only attorney that could helped you get out of prison. You're gonna fire him now. You're gonna leave the record company and go back to other people. What other attorneys out there that was working on that case? Or you heard that was in Pac ear at the time? If you was telling me, yeah, Pac was meeting with Johnny Cochran and Pac was meeting with this high profile attorney, then maybe he was gonna get rid of Kenner. But nobody ever says anything like that. Now me, on a letter, on a fax. Yasmin's son is the one that put that out there. It's not his son, it's a guy that's like his adopted son that was close to Yasmin. He and I've been talking. Yasmin will be coming on an interview with me on Bomb First to clear up all of this. She's saying that Pac had that letter drawn up when he was mad, mad about something, and it was faxed over to my office. I never got it. All the evidence showed that I never got it because why? Who's standing? What security guards are standing next to him? All the time when he was in New York. That's right wing guys that standing with him. Who guy?
Oh, check this out. Well, I want to say something. Let me show my face real quick. Let me say something. Show my face real quick. First of all, I believe Pac did fire Reggie Records. Reggie Wright. Yo, Bricks and Touch, salute my brother, salute. Because Reggie Wright wasn't even, they didn't even have no security when Pac and Suge got shot up. They didn't have no security when Pac and Suge got shot up. So that Reggie wrong right there. He's Reggie wrong right there. But let's keep going because I want to try to hear this other nigga. Delray Richardson.
The guy was allegedly with him when he got killed. That was one of the right wing guys, Frank Alexander. So I'm just like saying, if that's true, then okay, it's obviously he changed his mind as he always do because he was very a high strong person. I don't like to use the word emotional because that's what we call our bitches. It's emotional, but let's use the word high strong. And so it was a way he probably was trying to get the Suge or whatever. But if all of that is true, then why?
Did he just call Pac a bitch? Did he just call Pac a bitch, y'all? If he just called Pac a bitch, yo, y'all give me a thumbs up. That's what he really called him. Let's go, y'all.
Was my guys always around him, even after that.
Right.
So come on, why are you just trying to attack or create all of these problems with Suge? It's like it's not hurting my legacy. I ain't the one that saying I helped get him out of prison or anything like that. That's all Suge Knight. Why y'all trying to rewrite? Why all of you nothing ass niggas that was nothing around that nobody even know is trying to rewrite history on Suge Knight? Why? That's all my question is. Why are everybody trying to write?
Salute, boy. What's going on, bro?
Even if it's not true or whatever, that's what Pac believed. That's what Pac put up. Why are we trying to change history? What is the reason for that? Mm-hmm. That's the only issues I have with the man. That he's out there for some reason trying to rewrite history that nobody seems to refute. Who owns All Eyes on Me and Machiavelli up until the bankruptcy and all of that? Those two albums have been with 4 different distributors since Interscope. I did a deal with this company called DNA in Sacramento. I'm the one that took the deal.
Facts.
The two masters over to Koch Entertainment, say them. Only thing they had back then was Yin Yang Twins. And Yin Yang Twins only did a one-off with them. Me bringing that over there and getting Sugar deal where he get 5% off of every urban act that was ever made over there, that was done over there. I negotiated that deal for sure while he was in prison, and then right when he came home.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard this brother, right? I don't want to call him brother. I'm calling him brother. Y'all heard this before. He got some points though. I ain't gonna front. He got some points. But the fact is, I know he didn't like Pac. That's what the fact is. He did not like Pac. We're gonna keep it real. But then we got this guy Delray Richardson, who's enamored with Pac, who loved Pac, who he acted like Pac was his best friend. So I'm gonna let y'all hear what Delray Richardson had to say about the Biggie and Pac situation. Y'all let me know. He how can I say it? He contradicts himself so much when he talk about this shit. So sometimes I'll be, this nigga's a fraud. Let me see. Hold on. Y'all. There we go, y'all.
The Wells Fargo Active Cash Card. Earn 2% cash back on what you want, like a vintage turntable.
Fair use, shows fair use.
And need, like a new needle for it. The Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. That's real life ready.
It's everything you wish for. Your site traffic is skyrocketing until...
Fair use, child. Let's go. Let's do this.
It's been a whole lot of conversations, man, surrounding Tupac not really being a gangster. How you feel about people that always make that comment saying Tupac wasn't a gangster?
Well, the word gangster, a lot of times it's mixed up with a lot of nefarious and petty activities, if you will, on one end. But then on the other end, if you go back and look at what true what we would consider gangsters, you got your John Gotti's, you got your, people who were truly stand up, took the time, whatever they were involved in, they took it like a man. They never spoke, they never snitched, they never did any of those things, right? And so if you talk about the actions of being a gangster and not just using the title itself, Tupac was that, but more importantly, Tupac was the man of the house. And that's what a true gangster is. A true gangster is the man of the house. If you know any Italians or people like that, they're men of their family. They take care of their family. Their family is first. And if we know anything about Pac, which I do, like I said, that was one of the things that he always did. He made sure his mother was cool, his aunties, and everybody else. He took care of his whole family. You understand what I'm saying? And so when you delve into that, and then I can get into the fact that even during the incident in New York when they came to the hotel, there were guns found. Now, the guns didn't belong to Tupac. And I know so many people who, under that pressure of going to jail and possibly doing a lot of time in jail, I know a lot of people under that pressure would have told on who those guns belonged to escape that charge. But once again, Tupac was a man of honor. He never said anything. He said the guns aren't mine. His fingerprints weren't on the guns. So therefore, he stood up and represented like he should when you think about that whole thing. So like I said, when somebody says that he's not a gangster, you got a lot.
All right. Now they found guns in your hotel room, They found guns in your hotel room. Right. You know who they belong to. And they're your hotel room. You the one there. You said they're not yours. The first thing you're doing, you're telling that they're somebody else's.
Yeah, as soon as you say they're not yours. First thing you're supposed to do when they walk in the door, who guns is these, man? I need my lawyer. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Even with the sexual abuse allegations he got for old girl. He didn't wait.
Right.
He didn't wait until he was 20 minutes inside the precinct before he said, that wasn't me. That was Haitian Jack and them niggas.
Wow. See, this is some parts I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Man, he told him he was on an interview on TV. He was like, that's Haitian Jack and them niggas. He told him on an interview on TV that was them.
I remember the interview. I didn't remember him saying no names. I do remember him saying, you know what I mean? Why am I the only one here? You know what I mean? It was other people that was involved in this situation. Why am I the only one here? Because my name is the biggest name. So they're not, you know what I mean? That's basically telling at the same time. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? So this guy right here acting like Pac a stand-up. Pac is a stand-up. He's a stand-up nigga. When Biggie told him, yo, them niggas ain't no good. Stay away from him. Why would you go back and tell them niggas what Biggie said? And then in the long run, Biggie get robbed by the same niggas.
Same niggas. Yeah.
So you told them niggas what Biggie said.
Right.
So Biggie ain't gonna tell you shit else because you already ran your fucking mouth one time.
Exactly. And that's all this shit go back to the beginning of when Big and them when Big, from what I'm understanding, when Big first seen him around Haitian Jack and all the niggas, his question was, how well do you know these guys? I'm from here. I know these guys. How well do you know? I mean, even though you're from here, but you've been lived out in Baltimore and all the other shit. You really don't know these guys. And like you said, he went back, explained them, and told and told that Big told him to watch him or whatever the case may be. So, it's ugly when you look at it. It's real ugly.
Yeah. So you pretty much you talking about Big was like your brother and you trusted him. He trusted you. He gave you information, not to say shit to nobody.
Man, I can go with that. I can go with it. Actually, believe it or not, I never looked at it like that. I looked at it as, you know what I mean, back then. You know, even though if you get deep into the situation now, that would be considered dry snitching. Well, back then that wasn't considered dry snitching because he never said a name.
Jay Rollins said Mike Tyson warned Tupac about Haitian Jack too. So you got Biggie and Mike Tyson, two Brooklyn niggas, warning you about the company you keep, bro. And you're right, Tyson did warn him about Haitian Jack.
Yeah, but they just knew that Mike Tyson had too much around her the way they couldn't do nothing to him.
Yeah, hold up. Oh, let me find it. I know I've seen the video. There we go, right here, y'all.
My question is, why Reggie Wright Jr. still talking? What's the purpose? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What's the purpose of him still talking about the whole situation? Because he didn't actually. Man, never mind. I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, hold on. Let me find that shit right now. I know I seen it. Let me see. Here we go right here. Here we go, yeah. I found it.
Okay.
Jack the scooter, and I used to say, you out of your league. You know,
you hang with the big boys now.
Well, I used to tell Pac, man, I say, I think you're out of your league right now. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Because he had asked me about Jack. You know, and I had known Jack the scooter. And I used to say, you out of your league.
Biggie, salute.
You hang with the big boys now.
Well,
All right, now you heard that was Mike Tyson.
Right. Same thing Big did, but he didn't go back to them and tell Mike. They tell Mike Tyson said it. He told Big said it.
Big said it. Yep. Because they probably would have tried to get Big. They probably try to get Tyson too, because a fist can't beat a bullet, nigga.
No, they can't. You're right. They can't. But the difference in that whole situation is, to me, they know that it would be easier for them to get Big than it would be to get Tyson.
Yeah, facts. You're absolutely right, bro. They know that. They knew that already. They knew Tyson. They knew. First of all, they knew Big was Tyson was protected by gangsters from Brooklyn too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I'm on them.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So it was harder for them. It's very easy for them to get the Big. They knew they couldn't get Tyson like that. They knew it. So maybe he did tell him. Maybe he did say he heard it from Mike and Big. They just knew they couldn't get the Mike like that. It was easy to get the Big because, you know, everybody from what I'm understanding, they are considered Puff as soft as hell. That's what they considered him as. Only motherfucker around Big that they said had any type of heart probably was Gutter, D-Rock, and Wolf when he was alive.
Yeah, Wolf, yeah. And don't forget Gene Dill. All of them.
Gene as well. Actually, Big Gene was the big, like, if Gene wasn't around, from what I'm understanding, like, shit wasn't the same. And that I heard from people inside the situation. But I still want to go back to this Reggie Wright Jr. dude.
All right, go ahead.
This is what I feel, because everything and everybody that's being indicted right now and brought up back on charges with this Pac shit, why is he not? And the same thing you said about Pac, and I'm like, I feel like what I want to say right now, I feel like it's dry snitching. So I'm trying to hold back from saying it.
I said what you said, because it can't be dry snitching if the case already been over with.
No, I'm talking about they bringing that Pac back. They bring that Pac case back up. But anyway, fuck it. Anyway, now when the whole situation went down, the Tyson fight, the jumping of Orlando Anderson, why is no one bringing up that security situation back up? Security was told not to carry their weapons, and let alone every last one of the security guards is dead now.
Yeah.
That's a hole to me. That's evidence. But I'm gonna shut up from that point.
Yo, because Alexander was telling people that his life was in danger.
Yeah, right? They all were. I forgot the dark-skinned dude named Michael Moore. Michael Moore. He said, Michael Moore said in an interview, he said if he told Frank, listen, they said that they were going to kill you if you talk. He told Frank Alexander that. That's on YouTube too. He told him. So, yeah, every last one of them guys that was a Pac security is dead except one, and that's the guy that used to be a cop. I can't remember his name. He was on one of the documentaries explaining, like he's like, yo, I got so much evidence, but I'm not, because I know my life is on the line. I forgot this dude's name. He's an ex-cop. He was a part of that one of the Rampart scandal thing. Kevin Mackey. That's his name.
Kevin Mackey, okay.
Kevin Mackey. Him. He's the only one still alive out of all the security guards that was around Pac. Frank's gone. Michael's gone. The other two is gone. And no one still, to this day, said to anybody, like, okay, so what was this that came across the radio? We got him. Nobody want to mention that because nobody can't say nothing because the guys who heard it is gone. But why are they gone? Frank looked like he had a healthy, clean bill of health. So did Michael Moore. How did they go? Michael, somebody came and killed Frank. Frank had gunshots killed him. Same thing with Michael Moore. And then when you want to go with the one detective, when they had the fucking the meeting, all of a sudden he dies at the meeting. Okay. I guess.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. All I can say is I guess. I like. Let me answer this. I like that. Hey, what's his name? Jay Rollins. Jay Rowland. I'm not sure how you put it, but you're absolutely right. Totally agree. You know what I mean? And I knew that most of the security guards was gang members. But I'm talking about the ones who was actually around, like the security guards that was around Suge was the gang members. The ones that was around Pac wasn't. Frank Alexander wasn't a gang member. Michael Moore wasn't a gang member. The other two guys wasn't a gang member. And the guy Kevin Mackey was a cop. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, but you got to look at it that as well.
All right, yeah, hold up. I think I found something with it. Hold up, I'm about to put it on pause for another 1 second. Here we go, y'all. It's fair use.
The Light One, aka God. The last video I did some weeks back, Snoop Dogg's role in Tupac's death, Little Half Dead hated Tupac, Michael Moore, Death Row killed Tupac. The video received 450,000 viewers. 4,576 viewers. I wish, anyway, 4,576 viewers, 118 likes, and 21 dislikes. Shout out to everyone out there who viewed, who liked, who disliked. A quick shout out to everyone out there because I don't want to take too long of y'all time. Anthony Bryant, peace and blessings. That's my boy. He's not. If I mispronounce, I'm sorry. Right there, peace and blessings. And blessings. Sarah. That's my. Of Tupac was murdered, which was in 1996 at the MG Studios. Okay, so before the security staff, the entourage,
facts will be killed. Facts.
They went when they touched down in Vegas. I'm sorry, when they touched down in Vegas. Okay, Reggie Wright Jr. denied it recently that he said no guns, which is bullshit. They had a meeting with the lawyer, that Jewish lawyer. We know who we talk. You know who I'm talking about. And Reggie Wright Jr. was the owner of Reggie Wright Security. So at the meeting, there was no guns. Okay, no guns. Okay, so keep in mind, y'all, Tupac was already paranoid because he was ordered to go to Vegas to do community service at the Club 662. So Tupac thought it was strange that the judge didn't send him to prison because that violated his parole, his probation, his parole. So the judge in California sent this man to 662 to do a free concert as a community service for whatever he did, okay? So he already was under scrutiny for that. He was already thinking like, so Tupac was in New York at the time, and he was ordered to go to Las Vegas. It was said that Tupac told one of the bodyguards, I'm a dead man walking. Because see, even Tupac knew something about Vegas was suspicious. Tupac wasn't a dumb man. So you had Frankie. I call him Uncle Frankie because he's a good guy. Frankie was a bodyguard. He wasn't a police officer. He wasn't a police officer. None of that. So Frankie was a professional bodyguard. He was a bodybuilder. Frankie used to bodybuild. He used to, and Tupac and Frankie got along very, very well. Excuse me. Tupac had bodyguards when he first hit death row, and they kept rotating bodyguards because didn't nobody want to work with Tupac. Tupac was the kind of guy you couldn't tell him shit. And Tupac, in his mind, you're going to do what I say. And the bodyguards didn't want to work with Tupac. So Frank was the only guy that got along with Tupac. Why? Frankie let Tupac run it. If I have a bodyguard and this is your job to protect my life, I'm going to listen to every fucking word you say. So let's move on. So in Vegas, back to the Vegas. Stay with me, y'all. I know I'm talking kind of fast, but you got to have a sharp mind to understand what I'm trying to say to you. In Vegas, no guns. So now there's no guns in Vegas. First, Tupac was sent to Vegas, way to Vegas to do community service. Number two, no guns. So if you had guns on you, put them in your car, put them in your trunk. Do not carry no guns. Do not carry any weapons, no whatsoever. You cannot carry no guns. Okay, so fast forward the story. Michael Moore, one of the other security that was there. Yes, Mr. Moore, why would I give up my weapon? That's a dude, that is an issue duty weapon. I'm a police officer. Michael Moore is a police officer, or was. May he rest in peace. I'm a police officer. I'm not giving up my weapon. You're being transferred to 662. Effective immediately. Go. Michael Moore knew and would not allow a civilian to tell him to put his weapon up. Michael Moore was a police officer. Okay? So in Las Vegas, they told him and the other security staff, no weapons. Michael Moore rejected it. They sent him 662 immediately. Go now. Okay? So Michael Moore is posted at 662. Okay? So now Uncle Frankie babysitting Tupac, watching Tupac. Okay? Y'all like my shirt? Yeah, Machiavelli. So now the alleged
fight. You deserve the mark of a fighter.
About this, Faith Evans.
Yes.
Okay.
Jersey Rich salute. Jersey Rich salute.
Smith.
With who?
Jada Pinkett.
I wasn't with him during that era of his life, but I'll put it like this: I wouldn't doubt it. He said that Jada
he smashed
like a
pound cake,
like a female him.
He did
pound
cake. I'm gonna stop you right there. So he did. Next question.
So all right,
next question.
I said I wouldn't doubt it.
Next question.
Did with all the lost files coming up, you know, detectives feeling like they want to go on retirement because of this and all that. People say conspiracy theory.
That's what's up, bro. But who?
You know, it's because of him talking. They said he wanted to be part of a certain elite group of people. Then he felt like the lifestyle that they was doing, they were trying to take his soul, and he wanted his soul back. So people felt like he had to go because he knew a little bit too much. Do you feel that Suge Knight set him up?
That's a really good question. It's a very interesting question. Also, I'm gonna put it to you like this.
This Frank Alexander talking.
I listen really careful to this. I make no.
Hello.
Okay.
I do that, Jody.
1996. The way I felt and what I thought about that whole thing with Suge Knight and the whole situation concerning Tupac and Suge Knight was completely different, because I couldn't understand how anyone would sit in a car with someone that they would put a hit on and trust that they wouldn't get shot when bullets was flying all through their car. I said it in Before I Wake, which plays on Fuse TV, and I said it in Got Your Back. You can find it at www.frank-alexander.com or amazon.com.
So is that a yes or a no?
Now, no, this you got to hear this. The thing about that is that was 1996. In 2001, Rolling Stone magazine came out with the Rampart investigation through LAPD. And when that came out, I read that article. I have that article. The whole Rolling Stone magazine was about this crooked LAPD cop story of how Biggie got killed and how Pac got killed. And then it named one of the bodyguards who was with me, that was my relief bodyguard for Tupac, named Kevin Hackey. And I can say this because his name is out there like that. And we did a documentary, and he came out and said that he was an FBI informant, and he was there to infiltrate death row for drug racketeering. Now, all along, when we were working together, I never knew that. No one never knew that. But the Rolling Stone magazine announced it. So Kevin.
Now on Paramount Network.
This journey will be dangerous all the way to Oregon.
Them over it because they exposed them. All right. Oh, so after I read that article, and then I started seeing all these LAPD cops that was from the magazine. They had them in there, pictures of them dressed in red suits. Then I started thinking differently. All right. Then I started seeing different things about how a different theory and a different conspiracy could have happened. Who am I going to trust to sit next to me or trust to fire into my car if I would have set it up would be another police officer, someone that is well trained with using a weapon. I have 2 documentaries that go into that, and it's Tupac Assassination, Conspiracy, Revenge, and Reckoning. And I talk about those theories, and I talk about that. And my whole thought process completely changed from 1996 to 2001 after I read that article. Then I started digging and digging and digging and looking for dirt. When I started kicking rocks and rocks started turning over, my partner and I, we started finding dirt. And then other things started coming up. So my whole theory on Tupac's murder did a 360.
So let me ask you this last question.
Absolutely, to answer your question, absolutely. Somebody set him up. Now, the conclusion recently, within the last week or two, the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the FBI released a 349-page document saying that in their findings that Suge Knight and Reggie Wright orchestrated and put a hit on both of them, Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac Shakur. That was the FBI's findings after they released their findings and decided to close the case on that murder investigation for them too. Now, that's what they wanted to do. The FBI did that. And the only reason why they can't bring anyone to trial is because...
Yo, did you hear that? Chuck, did you hear that?
I heard it. I heard that. I done seen this interview 7 to 8 times. I heard it.
Yeah, I got to shout out to my boys, my boys and shit. Hold on. Hip Hop News on Sis. Yeah, everybody gotta check them out.
Definitely. I always
because they had 17 informants, and all of them said no, they wouldn't testify. So if you don't have no one to testify to the facts, you don't have a case. The DA is not going to take it. So LAPD, being Biggie's jurisdiction of where he was murdered at, and then Las Vegas being Tupac's jurisdiction where he was murdered at, they're cold case files, and it's going to take somebody to have to solve them. Do I believe that the person that pulled the trigger on both of them are dead? I would say Tupac's killer for sure is dead. The other one, I can't say as far as Biggie goes. I believe Tupac's killer is dead, though. But I believe this. It was definitely set up.
No,
both of them. It was set up.
Based on your rock uncovering and flipping over, do you or did you see or were you leading to the fact that Suge had something to do with it?
And Puffy.
Now you say and Puffy. I don't know. Here's the truth. Okay, John 8:32. The truth shall set you free. I don't know absolutely one thing surrounding Biggie's death. I cannot answer not one question surrounding Biggie's death for 2 reasons. One, I was no longer working with Death Row and the security company. I was long gone. By the time Biggie was killed, I was unemployed, writing my book or whatever I was doing. So I cannot answer anything concerning Biggie, Puffy, because I don't know nothing concerning Puffy, being P. Diddy now. I believe that someone out of Death Row's camp knows who set up Tupac's hit, is what I believe.
Based on your rock uncovering and where you were leading and things you were seeing, do you believe that Suge had something to do with that?
What I believed in 1996,
yes or no?
what I believe today, I would more or less point my finger to yes than no, and that being because we interviewed witnesses and people that testified on camera in my documentaries on camera in my documentary
On the car, definitely believe that.
Suge Knight and Tupac had a vicious fight in New York at the MTV Awards, and Tupac told one of the bodyguards after he was finished with a video shoot, they were walking him to the airplane. He told this bodyguard, who's a real good friend of mine to this day, he said, "I'm a dead man walking." And he said, "Pac, why would you say something like that?" He said, "Because I don't want to go to Vegas, and I got a bad feeling about it." And that was September 6th. It was a Friday because they had just finished shooting Toss It Up.
That's when the Moo Records, I think, was starting out.
Who was
He wanted to leave.
Who was the big enticer for him to go to Vegas?
Well, here's the other thing. Everything, you guys are really good because everything that you're asking me, all these questions are in my book.
Why, thank you. We just saw the radio yesterday.
Tupac had some family matters that was going on in Atlanta, and he really didn't want to go to Vegas. He really wanted to go to Atlanta to deal with the problems that was going on with his first cousin, which was one of the outlaws. And this is in my movie, Tupac Assassination Reckoning. It's in that movie. And it's not even that I'm telling it. His family, Tupac's family, is telling that whole story. And he did not want to go to Vegas. He was not going to Vegas. And he had his mind changed and persuaded to go.
By who? By who?
By Suge.
Does that have anything to do with him wanting to leave Death Row and start Amuru Records?
When we were on Gridlock and all of that, they had already called an audit on Death Row. We were working on a set of Gridlock, and Yak Fula's mother was one of Tupac's assistants, and she came down to the set specifically to talk to myself and Kevin Hackey to tell us that there were some things going on, there were some changes going on, and they was no longer going to be working with Death Row, that they were doing an audit on Death Row because Pac wasn't getting all his money, and there were some problems. And
What happened? That's the end of it? Listen, man, it's still a lot of unanswered.
You're hovering, wondering if you click buy or book, is your personal info going to be safe?
What Reggie Wright has been hoping that you would never find out.
What you said, bro?
No, go ahead. I want to hear this. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Ask the question real quick. Like that.
I said it's just a lot of unanswered questions that still lingering to this day. That's all.
Hey, yo, the cop wasn't the biggest cop. It was a New Jersey police officer.
One was, the other one was Atlanta.
No, I'm talking about the one that got shot when he was mother dead.
Oh, yeah.
His mom, stepdad, and godmom that was a New Jersey police officer shot.
Right. No, I remember that. You're right.
No, I was just giving Mike Jones the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Frank Alexander. Rest in peace, Frank Alexander. Now we go ahead with this light skinned clown got to say. This is fair use, fair use.
And how mixing lies with the truth is an old police tactic to leave you confused and off the trail. And how Suge Knight was the one who was really let down in Vegas that night, distinguishing a record industry event to a personal event. Let's get into some of this straight game. And what he's actually running from. The thumbs up button is very much appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tell a friend. And most importantly, if you're new to the channel, please do me a favor and hit that bell notification right below this video. I got some information for you guys today that I've come across in my research. You know, I like to thoroughly research things. And I want to tell you this, and I tell you this humbly. I've come to understand what Reggie Wright Jr. has been hiding and what he's actually running from, the truth that he's running from, right? So what I did was, you have to understand, and I'm going to break it down to you like this. Reggie Wright Jr. said on Bomb First, when John first asked Reggie Wright in regards to him, the letter being fired or something like that from Tupac firing him, right? And he said he got a letter, and he basically said that this letter came in around April, if you will. And I'm going to tell you flat out, that's a lie. That's a lie. He never received a letter in April. My sources tell me there was no letter in April. The only letter that Tupac sent was the letter in August.
His sources, bro. His sources, yeah, right.
On August 27th, 1996. Now, let me tell you why Reggie Wright would say that there was an earlier letter. By suggesting that there was an earlier letter that he received. If he received that letter, I'm sure as a businessman, he probably would still have that letter somewhere filed up, even after all of these years. Very important letter coming from Tupac. Ask him to show you that letter. I bet you he can't, because it doesn't exist, right? So now, by suggesting that the letter was sent in sometime in April, naming this Keyshawn Johnson party and so on and so forth, basically what he's saying is, oh, I received the letter, but not the one in August. But the letter that was really being referred to by John as well as by Frank Alexander was the letter in August, right? So the reason why Reggie keeps lying about that and will not tell the truth about that is because he likes to mix lies with truth, right? In order to finagle your thinking, or better yet, to help you stay off the trail. But I'm on the trail, and I'm going to tell you why he did that. So now, in Las Vegas, you notice, we've seen the video. Reggie Wright has suggested that even though Tupac may have fired him and he didn't get the letter, right? Well, how do you know that you were fired if you didn't get the letter? But you wish you would have gotten the letter. Check this out, y'all. So now, we've seen the video of Tupac walking through the MGM Grand that night. There's video of Tupac walking through, and Frank is right next to him, and the whole 9 yards, right? There's no other security guard there. None. Just Frank Alexander. Now, why would it just be Frank Alexander rolling with Tupac? Why? You know why? Because what Frank Alexander said was true in regards to him approaching Tupac, asking him about the letter that he had saw from the staff, the receptionist at the office, in regards to letting Frank know that, you know, he think that, you know, Tupac, he thought that Tupac was firing him. So
just had
Again,
it's too much.
First time you met Tupac, man. Give me the backstory on that.
93. I'm in my neighborhood and hustling, and a buddy of mine by the name of Wampus, shout out to Wampus, he came riding through the neighborhood and he was like, yo, you want to go to Bowie State University to see Tupac and Lords of the Underground. And there was a couple other groups there too. So I was like, yo, my money ain't right. You know what I mean? He's like, don't worry about it. I got you. You know what I mean? So he was like, okay, cool. So we go up to Bowie State University, and when we get there, you know, it's popping, Lords of the Underground, you know, places packed. It was actually their homecoming. And so when we get in there, I I see one of my girlfriends, my homegirls, and she was up there. I was like, yo, what you doing up here? She was like, I came to see Tupac. She was like, I know him. I'm like, you bullshit. You know what I mean? She was like, nah. And she was bad, right? So I said, well, introduce me to him. And so Tupac, right before he was about to go on, he came from out the dressing room. And she actually introduced me to him. She was like, yo, this is my homeboy Delray. You know what I mean? Boom, he do music and so on and so forth. And so we met, shook hands and shit. I seen Biggie too. He was there, but I didn't know who he was at the time. You know what I mean? So I seen all of those guys, the Live Squad guys. I didn't know who they were at the time. And so yeah, that was, when we initially first met.
Right. Yeah, tell me the details about the performance, man.
Okay. So the performance was dope. I can go into a lot about what that relationship was and a lot why Tupac was so mad. Well, that night in particular, I didn't know who Biggie was at the time. And Tupac was like, before he would perform Keep Your Head Up and all of that stuff, he would stop his show. And that night in particular, he had stopped his show and he let Biggie, who I didn't know at the time, perform, and it was a song, Party and Bullshit. You know what I mean? Party, bullshit, and the whole 9 yards. And so so he performed, and the night it was a wonderful night. They had a couple of little skirmishes in their fights and shit like that. You know what I mean? But for the most part, it was a wonderful evening.
Nigga, how many times you guys say you didn't know who Biggie was? You didn't know who he was. You said it the first time, nigga. This nigga. Oh, I didn't know who Biggie was. I didn't know who Biggie. We know you don't know who Biggie was at the time, nigga. Nobody knew who you was until you started talking this Tupac shit, nigga. Let's keep it real. Let's go. They're playing with me, man.
I damn sure didn't.
Evening. But the craziest part about that night was after everything was over, the everybody leaving and letting out and whatnot. So as we walk outside, it's like a big courtyard. They had a big courtyard. And as we walk outside in the courtyard, you see like these white vans and cars in front and in the back of the white vans. And so not really knowing what's going on, you see like a bunch of girls, they're running up to the vans and talking, to these guys or whatever. And they like, running up, they bad young girls and beautiful, should I say. And so as they're walking up there, you got these other guys standing in the courtyard, basically, and they start throwing shit and was like, fuck them niggas, you know what I mean? And so on and so forth, you know what I mean? I was like, wow, like, what the fuck is going on, you know what I mean? And so they start throwing bottles and stuff at the vans, you know what I mean? And the girls, they start moving out of the way. So all of a sudden, the doors to the vans pop open and Tupac and them jump out the van. And they start with the guys that was throwing the bottles. A couple of them ran, but they caught Tupac and them caught up to like two of the guys. And so they caught up to two of the guys and they whipped their ass. You know what I mean? And so as they were fighting, the guys who had ran had definitely came back. So they came back to try to, I guess, help out the dudes. And when Tupac and them seen that, they ran back to the van and, closed the door. I don't know if they thought that the guys went and got guns or whatever. They went and, went and did. So they went jump back in the van, and the guys were actually picking their friends up off the ground and trying to help them out. And a couple of the dudes were still like throwing shit. So they didn't have no guns and all that. They were still throwing shit. So the next thing you know, the van door come open and Tupac jump out there with the gun and shoot up in the air. Back. Thug life, motherfucker. And then everybody ran. You know what I mean? Like everybody that was on the courtyard, because once people seen the commotion, they basically kind of came towards the commotion. But when he jumped out there, back, thug life, motherfucker, everybody just ran. And like people, the cars that were parked in front of the white van and behind it, they started jumping curbs because it was like a curb in between. It was like a lane, and they start jumping curbs and the whole 9 yards. It was like pandemonium, man. And that was my introductory to Tupac and Thug Life, my first initial introductory to that. And it was a crazy, crazy night, man. Like I said, I'll never forget it. It was wild. It was wild.
Wow, man, that's crazy, man. Yeah, man, I want to backtrack a little. So Tupac was really helping out Biggie, and he was really letting him open up for his shows and all that, and perform, you know, on his shows and stuff like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was, like I said, once again, I didn't know who Biggie was at the time, but that night, and like I said, that's actually on my friend, and I forgot to say that my man Big Butch. I used to be a lead singer for a go-go band, and in DC, go-go music is real popular. I don't know if you heard of it or not, but I used to lead sing for a band called Those Boys, and Big Butch, he was the major promoter of all the go-go bands, EU, Rare Essence, Junkyard, all of the bands in DC. And so once I got into the venue that night, I seen him, and I'm like, Butch, what's happening? He was like, this my shit. You know, I'm doing this. This me right here, right? So I'm like, okay, cool.
He didn't tell them niggas like that. He didn't tell them like that because he knew that Pac would go back and tell them niggas that he didn't want the heat like that. You understand? And then Biggie didn't have no money to give Jasmine Guy or none of those people for Pac defense. And nobody was telling that nigga, do a show, do something, and have all proceeds go to Pac. You know, Big wasn't schooling Big like that. Big was young. He didn't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? But as far as, you know, them niggas being told, Mike Tyson had told Pac the niggas that Big was talking about, but then he named them niggas and let them know them niggas is the ones that you don't want to fuck with. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, like, you know, he right about that, you know, as far as Big not, you know, formally telling him, you know, the nigga names and shit. Pac was fucking with a lot of dudes, bro. A lot of dudes was trying to fuck with Pac. But, you know, Big didn't want that heat himself, bro. You know, I try to tell Big, you know, Big couldn't even stop his man from getting killed around his own block. Big wasn't no strong dude like that in the street, bro. He was young. A few niggas around him was strong and doing things in the street, but it wasn't him.
Okay.
All right, that's what it is.
But you know, they was talking about. I remember when that shit happened with Big at the after party when Biggie went to in California with the FBI had him followed, talking about Big was under investigation by the FBI for dealing with the mafia family.
Gangster shit that them was doing, and he was fucking with them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Them was fucking with the Genovese mob.
Yeah, I see the paperwork with the Genovese and how they was following Biggie, and I'm like, how the hell they didn't stop that shit from happening? They was right there watching them. That's all I was worried about. How you didn't stop him from getting killed, and y'all was out there taking pictures? You know what I'm saying, Jay?
They couldn't blow that cover.
Hold on one second, yo.
He couldn't blow that cover.
Hello?
Yeah. Oh, hung up. I was saying.
You know, I was just saying that you take niggas like this. Niggas in the rap game, they used to get show money, they used to get other money, then they take it and throw it in the street money and flip it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get those big checks, then you go get those big things, you know, put it into niggas in the street. That's why they don't mix like that. You know what I'm saying? Then the feds get on it and it'll bring you whole down. So if all of them is getting money and doing big things with them Italian boys or whoever they was doing it with, you know what I'm saying? That comes back and it goes down on Big now because them niggas investigate the whole thing. People don't understand the feds got 2 to 3 years to investigate a whole thing before they can bring you on, and then they can bring you up on charges at any time within those 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, but what I was saying is, why wouldn't they? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was saying, why wouldn't they stop that assassination from happening? They was right outside the party.
Said they was right outside. You know, like it's like that. They got enough film, they got enough thing like that. But what happens is this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna speak for myself.
Yeah.
The feds knew I had one of the parolees had paid one of the biggest hit teams in New York to kill me. This is all documented and everything.
Yeah.
You understand? They paid the lynch mob to kill me.
Oh, damn.
You know what I'm saying? But the lynch mob, they took it. 8,000 and a half a Kia Coke to kill me. But what they didn't know was this. P.O. Deal and Big Gene was the same person. So when they came to kill me, they found out that P.O. Deal and Big Gene was the same person because my brother was at the door at the party that came to do something to me. My godbrother, Slick.
Oh, Slick. Okay, Jane. Yeah. Oh, I remember you talking about your godbrother Slick. Yeah, he was Slick in our family, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, no way, what you doing here? He like, yo, man, you know this nigga they talking about P.O. Deal? He's a P.O. big nigga. He be partying and shit like that. He was like, yo, Gene, come here. And I'm like, yo, what up? He said, tell Lou your name. I said, Lou know my name. I was like, what up, Lou? We gave each other dap. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We gave each other dap. He said, yo, tell Lou your name, Gene. I said, Lou know my name. He said, yo, Gene. He said, tell Lou what you do. I said, Lou know what I do. He said, yeah, you're a CO. I said, no, I'm a parole officer. Named Gene Deal. And nigga put his head down. That stopped me from getting killed that night. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So what I'm trying to say to you is that it's like niggas, you know what I'm saying, you can know a lot of niggas, but niggas don't really know you.
Yeah, true.
You understand? A lot of niggas knew me from Big Gene, but they didn't never know I was P.O. Deal.
P.O. Deal. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of niggas knew Pac. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the night the Big did that, they may not be there for that. You understand? They might just be there to do an investigation. They gonna let what happened happen. And then they gonna charge all the people around. Like they was gonna let me get killed. They knew that the dude Raymond Hernandez had paid them niggas to kill me. But what's gonna make their case more powerful?
If they let them kill you because you're a parole officer, then that make it more.
That's how nasty the motherfuckers is.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And like I'm gonna tell you some funny shit, right? When I got caught that Fed case, right? And I went to the Feds like in 2017, 2018. They had me in interrogation, right? The first thing they said, they was like, yo, you know so-and-so from Charlotte, North Carolina, but he originally from Philly. I'm like, I don't know who you talking about. Well, we got $500,000 reward out for him. We sent you a pictures with him at what was it? Not Ecstasy South. It was Honest, Club Honest in Charlotte, because I ran security for Club Honest in Charlotte. They're like, we got you a picture with him. I'm like, I still know you talking about. They showed the pictures of everything. I'm like, I don't know him. I took pictures with a lot of niggas back then because a lot of niggas took pictures of me because I was a celebrity bodyguard. And they knew me. And they're like, oh, so you just gonna go to jail and you could give us? I'm like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. Bruh. Man, that shit old. I told him off, I called my man, I'm like, yo, let that nigga know they on his ass. Real talk. Round, it wasn't even a state phone. It was a cell phone. We could get cell phones in the county on a low at Essex County. You know what I mean? I let him know, like, yo, let that nigga know they on his ass. They just start questioning me.
Because they told a couple of niggas, they told niggas from Murder Inc., yo, give us him, we'll get you off parole. Niggas like, nigga, what? That nigga don't know nothing about my business and know what I do. They told one of the biggest dudes from the regulators, yo, give us him, we'll get you off this 11 years he did. He said, man, that nigga don't know nothing about it. Nigga, all he do is do security at the parties, at the door. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how nasty them niggas is. Them white boys don't give a fuck, bro. So I could see them letting Big get killed.
Yeah.
It's gonna make it a lot bigger. You heard what Phil Carson told motherfuckers. He said his boss told us that we're not gonna solve this case. We're not gonna help them solve this case because we're not gonna ruin our relationship for no fat, black, 300-pound, drug-dealing, rapping motherfuckers.
Damn.
He said that. Go on the dossier. Niggas don't.
Yeah, I listened to the dossier report.
I don't understand why niggas ain't furious, bro. You got a white man that retired as an FBI agent. He said that shit. fuck what Gene Deal said.
Yeah?
That came out of his mouth.
You're right.
But anyway, what you doing right now?
I told you I was live, bro. I had to get you. I wanted to get your
I didn't know you was live. You ain't got me on live right now, right?
You ain't on live no more, but you was on live. This is your book anyway, nigga. We good. This is your book. Oh, oh shit. My bad, bro. I told you I was on live. My bad. Please.
Yeah, I kind of figured that part. He didn't want to put that out there.
What you said, bro?
Kind of figured that when he said that part, I was like, ooh, I don't even know if he wanted to say that. You know what I mean? But all of that, I kind of listen, man. None of this shit makes sense. None of it. Still to this day, even then, this shit didn't make sense because I said the bodyguard is dead. I remember the part about the Michael Moore boy stating to Reggie Wright, like, yo, I'm not putting down. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm keeping my weapon with me. And the transferred or whatever the case. I remember hearing that part. I remember Michael Moore saying, you know. And I also remember when Michael Moore said that he's the one of the guys that got him over the airwaves of the Nextel phone. Right? So now it's crazy. Like I said, it's crazy because once Frank went, and after Frank went, Michael Moore wouldn't have died if Frank wouldn't have put out his documentary with Michael Moore stating that he told Frank that they would get him. So he ended up going.
Yeah.
So then after that, I mean, the other bodyguards ended up going. Gaddafi ended up going.
TMZ
salute. You know what I mean? Saying Gaddafi ended up going.
But you know what? What's that
What light skin nigga? You talking about Gaddafi?
Gaddafi, not talking about Mo, not Gaddafi, Mo. The youngest.
Oh yeah, Mo.
From Everton. This nigga been running his mouth for the last 2 years, or everybody podcast, bro, and talking about I don't rap no more because of my Islam beliefs. But you telling a lot of shit, nigga, with your Islam beliefs. Come on, man. I don't understand that shit, bro.
I don't get it either. I don't understand it.
OG classic Joe.
I don't get it either. You know what I mean? I haven't seen truly nothing he was on, so I would have to go look.
Yo, bro, he's on our catalog. Black, our catalog 3-4 times.
I gotta go check him out and see what he's saying. You know, but it's still, it just don't make sense. Like the people who
Napoleon.
Yeah, the same person. Yeah. The same people who really knew, I guess, who knew too much, they got rid of. But Reggie's still around. Suge's still around.
And Reggie's a rat.
I mean, they still around. That's the thing, though. So that's y'all investigating Keefe D. I do all that shit. But y'all mean to tell me with all of that shit that y'all got, none of that shit is pointing towards Reggie? None of it? I'm just asking. I'm not trying to indict the man, not trying to put the man in little implications. But
yeah, it's people said Reggie, order to hit on Biggie.
I've heard that myself.
Huh?
I heard that. I've heard that several times.
I believe that shit. I believe, man. A lot of that shit I believe because, man, I'm a street nigga, man. To a lot of shots, I see that shit like that.
Yeah. Exactly. Especially when you got the money. It ain't hard at all when you got money.
No, especially when you got broke. Well, shouldn't that locked up?
First of all, we talking back in '96. It was nothing to find. It was nothing to find a wild boy. Give him $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Like, yo, man, I need this nigga off.
Facts only.
You know what I mean? But see, I still feel like the person who got big, I don't think that was a regular street dude. I don't, because you knew when to stop the car, how to fire. You know what I'm saying? And you.
Yo, that was the Afro Wild Muscle nigga that was for Sugar them.
I mean, it's very well believable.
Yo, James said, like, all and then same thing.
Yeah, exactly. But they keep saying it was a boy named Poochie. That's what they blame, because Poochie is dead. So they blame Poochie for that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just like I said, this has been over 2 decades of entertainment, 2 decades of lies, 2 decades of 2 decades of 2 fucking police departments that's been in scandals for years, and still, you know what I mean, this department can't solve this murder. Everybody that get close to solving this murder end up A, retiring, or B, dying. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, this is more entertaining for motherfuckers than it is really trying to figure out who killed these 2 icons, man. You know what I mean? It's beef for hip hop. Like, this hip hop beef shit is different nowadays. But before,
let me see this shit real quick. Let's do this shit real quick. I'm gonna find it right now, bro. 1 second. Cause yo, we gonna get to the bottom of this shit. One second. I want you to look at this shit, yo.
Good.
I want to see how this thing contradicts itself. Here we go. Here we go right here.
And how come Gene only was interviewed like 1 time? But then again, I wouldn't. I mean, I get it. He ain't the bodyguard. He only could do what he was supposed to do. Not saying he had anything to do with it, but
I can take it from time, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, pass the word, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified when I drop some more of this straight game. I'm gonna get right into it. This question comes from a brother from Oakland, California, and the question is, do you think that Tupac was jealous of Biggie and knew that Biggie had nothing to do with him being set up in New York when he was shot at Quad Studios? Interesting question. Very interesting question. I can take it from some of the things that Tupac had said in regards to Biggie in his last interview, and also the interview that he had did with Sway.
But Biggie's not a player. He's never been. He's never had bitches until he got some fucking money. That's a trick. That's not a player. It's not a popper. So my point was to prove him wrong. I took everything that he glamorized and I personified it.
Right. I think there was a bit of a jealousy or competitive bravado, if you will. And the fact of the matter is, when Tupac was in jail, you must understand, and felt like he was abandoned by most of the people that he had looked out for, Biggie included. Biggie's song, One More Chance, was the #1 song in the country. So you can imagine, like Tupac said, how he felt. But I think, that Biggie had to do something for him, or perhaps wasn't sending him no money or anything like that. People get a little bit of jealous and a little bit mad. It wasn't like when Tupac was doing the things that he was doing for Biggie, he expected anything in return. Because a lot of times, like I said, once again, we make that mistake thinking that some of the things that we're going to do for people, that they'll do them in return. So from that perspective, I think that there was a little bit of, a little bit of edge of jealousy. You know what I mean? You and your feelings, and Biggie on top of the world, knowing what you had done for him. And this is a personal thing for Tupac, not that everybody else can, say what he felt. I'm talking about what he talked about and how he said the things that he said. You know what I mean? Because him being shot at Quad had nothing to do with him being with Faith. That was a move that you would make, you know what I mean, to show somebody that, yeah, you ain't who you say you are because I slept with your wife. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you ain't that much of a baller, and you ain't that much of a big papa and all of that, because I slept with your wife. You know what I mean? That's proving a point beyond saying that, yo, you know what? You set me up and you had something to do with what was going on, and so on and so forth. So, if you want to be able to decipher between the two, I would have to say, yeah, that was basically Tupac basically trying to prove a point. And proving that point, it comes from a place of wanting revenge, wanting to get back at, you know what I mean, and feeling like somebody had disrespected you or had lost respect for you or not respected you at all. And so, yeah, I think, a little bit of, a little bit of jealousy, a little bit of, revenge, a little bit of contentment, you know what I mean, for Biggie at that particular time. But like I said, we can't lose the fact that Biggie's song, One More Chance, was the #1 record when Tupac was in jail. So you can imagine, and then him knowing all of the things he know about Biggie and him leaving the guns in his room, in his hotel room, the night of the situation that happened with the young lady in New York, and all of those things. See, Tupac knowing all of this stuff, So along with that, like I said, the anger, the jealousy, the everything, and so on and so forth. People may focus on just that one word, jealousy, but there's a combination of emotions that he felt at that particular time. And as a matter of fact, his manager at the time spoke on it, and Watani Tahimba said that that much of Tupac's anger.
Yo, bro, you hear this nigga, right?
Yeah, I hear.
Don't he sound contradicting like a motherfucker?
He going in circles. He definitely going in circles. I don't get none of this.
Right. Oh, listen.
at Biggie Smalls, Puffy's most successful rapper, was based on professional jealousy. This is Tupac manager speaking at the time. Tupac was in jail, and Biggie's single "One More Chance" was the #1 on the charts. In an interview with the Source magazine in 1996, Tupac, that's when he had claimed he had been sleeping with Biggie's wife, the singer Faith Evans, and he went to so far as to taunt Biggie about it in a song. "I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker," you know. And so with that, you know what I mean? That's that thing where you kind of go both ways with it. But more importantly, his manager even identified with that. And that was somebody who was close to him, who, you know, went to the jail to see him. You know, the guy who also was wheeling Tupac in the courtroom in the actual wheelchair. And like I said, if anybody would know that, he would know that from talking to Tupac and speaking with him and really finding out what the source of disenchantment was between him and Biggie. Like I said, on the side of whether he knew or really knew that Biggie had nothing to do with it, I really couldn't tell you that. But what I could say is this, because Tupac, you know, he felt what he felt, and his feelings were valid, and his feelings were the only feelings that were valid in regards to that situation. But I know when he got out of jail, Tupac knew that Biggie didn't have anything to do with it. And what let me know that was this statement that he made right here.
That's why I'm telling you now, when I see Biggie, it's not going to be like we're going to attack him every time. I might be in a good mood, and I might not want to be going. This shit is so minor. This is not about me and Biggie. Everybody keep talking about it. Y'all making this nigga bigger than he is. This is a major plan, a major strategy. That was the impetus or the starter or the generator that kicked it off. They happen to be the regime before me. Just like Republicans hate Carter or whatever, now the Republicans is like, we can't wait for Bush to come back, you know? Just like now I'm in power, everybody that love Biggie, they all like, I can't wait for Biggie to come back. Or somebody like that, or nah, that's why they root for them. They rooting for they people. And when I was gone, that's why all my niggas was like, can't wait for them to come, and that's why they rushed the polls.
And so when you deal with that and you understand that, there came a time where the beef and the situation in regards to what Tupac and Biggie was going through became a marketable item, or should I say a catalyst to be able to market, you know, their music, as well as, you know, that whole thing involving the East and West Coast thing, you know, from the Vibe magazine, the Source magazine, and all of those things. Because like I said, they were throwing jabs back at each other, you know, back and forth. And a lot of people said that, you know, recently Charlie Baltimore basically said that Long Kiss Goodnight wasn't about Tupac. And it absolutely was. You know, one thing Biggie did that Tupac didn't do was Tupac was the kind of guy, if he wanted to say something about you, he would say it directly about you. You would hear your name. You would know that it was from him and it came from him and it came from his heart or whatever he was feeling at that time. Tupac was a direct shooter. Most people know, who listen to hip hop and study the game and know, you know, you don't always have to say somebody's name. You know, you don't always have to, you know, be direct. And Biggie was one of those guys that knew how to throw a real good subliminal shot at you, and it might be something that just you and him know. Like when he said, please blood flood your dungarees, and that's just the half of my warpath. And then when he said, laugh now, cry later, I knew before I was sent the video just recently. Somebody sent me a video showing me, you know, that, you know, but I knew about the laugh now, cry later tattoo on Tupac before that somebody sent me this. So I knew what it was, and I knew it was in reference to. And another thing with the blood floods your dungarees meaning the blood on your dungarees when you were shot at Quad, right? So it would give inference that Biggie, if you will, somehow had something to do with that. It gave him more of a bigger an appearance that he was a shot caller, if you will. Like somehow, some reason, some way he had something to do. You know, blood floods your dungarees, you know what I mean? Because, you know, in the bravado, in the rap. So that's why I said, I use.
But yo, no, I don't understand, right? I don't understand. Hold on. You don't understand. I don't understand how they said Biggie didn't have no power when Biggie was able to get them niggas to shoot up Snoop Dogg in a video shoot, bro. That's a lot of power to have in New York City at the time.
At that time, Big had that power because at that time, Big. This is when one more chance. Everything else, he got going crazy, doors going, all that stuff. And this is before his album was about to drop on the top of the world, and he's already being. Well, I get it from the beginning when Pop was fucking them boys. Big and had that type of power because that was in bullshit.
Yeah,
he had that type of power. He was just trying to walk through the door. And so when it came to what he's saying now, yeah, at that time when they shot up the what's the name, yeah, that's when Big can go on a call, make a call on the radio station like, yo, in New York, what y'all doing? These niggas up here making a video in our hood, and these niggas talk crazy about the East. He got that power there. He couldn't do that shit back then. So I get that part, but this dude tripping. Big, listen, only thing Big. I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of the songs Big threw subliminals. You know, except for the one when he just mentioned Pac name, give it two Pacs or whatever. But that really wasn't nothing. But Big wasn't off that shit because, like, let's be real here. If it's hip hop heads in this motherfucker that's in the chat, let's be real here. We know lyrically Big's a fucking monster. Let's be real here. So y'all think if Big really wanted to shoot a shot at Pac lyrically, like how Pac mentioned the name, I fucked your bitch, and that's another thing. I don't care if niggas get mad at me, niggas can be like, I'm tripping. I'll say, I don't think Pac smashed me. I really don't, because there's no evidence. And what I'm
gonna tell you something. I know Fritz was fucking my homeboy Shorty Fresh from Elizabeth, New Jersey. He's a rapper back in the day. Down on Flavor Unit, Shorty Fresh. She was fucking him. I knew that she used to come to the Pioneer Homes, the projects, to come see this nigga when he was out there hustling. And this was like 90, 92, 93, around that area.
Right, and I get that. Listen, Faith went to elementary with me. Like, Faith went to Spencer with me. Yeah. I knew from elementary when her mom lived on front. I don't know if I'm still living on her, but mom was living on front. So I know, and you mean, I don't know her to where's to say if she had, you know, a history, but I do know Faith was doing her at a point in time. Actually, she'll say it. She was doing her at a point in time. But when it comes to that situation there, and let me tell you, and again, me and you both hood niggas. So let's talk 95, 96. We hood niggas. Now feel me on this. Follow me, Born. I need you to follow me on this. All right. 90 back then, when niggas smashed something, either the rubber packet was somewhere to be found. The rubber might have been laying on the floor, or either if it's flush, maybe, or if it's still in the toilet, or even if it's in the fucking garbage. Because niggas was wild back then like that. Niggas said that they were also niggas said that they was also in the other room or whatever, waiting to see, waiting for Pac or whatever while she was in there. Nobody said a noise.
Yo, the nigga said that.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, I hear niggas, but there's no real live Pac. I mean, again, maybe niggas can say I'm a biased dude because I'm a Brick City nigga and Faith's Brick City to the core. Y'all can say I'm biased. It don't, all of it don't add up. It don't. Okay, now, first of all, hers don't add up too much either. I'm not going to sit here and just really play one side because what she said one time really didn't add up to me either. But I don't think it went that far. But I'm going to go back to what I was saying with the Big thing. When Big got large enough to say what he said to get the trailer shot up, and from what I'm understanding, that was really had nothing to do with the Pac situation because he knew Pac wasn't there. What the problem was, from what I'm understanding, now I could be wrong, but I kind of did research and I don't think I'm wrong. If you go back to that time, Big did a St. Ives commercial. As Big did the St. Ives commercial, the Dog Pound took that beat and they were doing something else. But Big wanted that beat. So it was an attitude from what I'm understanding on Big's side. Whereas he's like, he got mad before. You know what I mean? Is that an Easy Mo BB? I don't know who made that track. But somebody made the track. And Big did the St. Ives commercial first. Dog Pound took the track. And then that's when Corrupt came back with New York, New York. Could be wrong, but go back then and research that. So that's when that part started. I just listen, man.
That was Easy Mo BB.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's what did that New York beat. Thanks, OG, appreciate it. Yeah, that beat. That's when, from what I'm understanding, Big quarter two. Like, you know what I mean? These niggas, first of all, took the beat that I used for a commercial, but I was actually, from what I'm understanding, he wanted to use it for something else for real. That's why they remade. And from what I'm understanding, it's the same. It was the same beat that he was going to do with the Lock song. You'll see. So if you listen to You'll See, that track sounds similar to New York, New York. If you really, really listen to that track with him and the Locks, when he said niggas talking it but ain't living it. That's what Big said. That song, I think it's called You'll See. If you listen to that You'll See track, and then you listen to that New York, New York track, them shit sound similar completely. And that's what the problem, that's where the beef came in at, from what I'm understanding.
I'm about to let you hear this real quick. Hold on 1 second.
But do you think a part of his motivation was him knowing that Orlando was sent months prior by Puffy to take a death row chain?
Yeah, I believe that's exactly what happened with Pac. And Pac wanted to show his loyalty, to Death Row and to the people who had his back. So that's why I think when he heard, this is the individual that snatched the chain, that's why he just, took off the way he did, which is an unfortunate situation because, Pac he was very intelligent. And he used to tell us not to do stuff like that. You understand? So even for me, I'm like, man, how did Pac just, lose it like that, like without thinking? Because he was always against that. Pac was always a person who wanted to be calculated and never just, but when you're in the heat of the moment, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, Pac was only 25 years old. Sometimes we forget about that. He was a
Hey yo, let me keep it real 100. Me and Hussein Fatal we was in Southwood State Prison together this time when Pac got killed. And I remember when Pac got killed because we was in Southwoods and Fatal was like, yo, that nigga was going through it. He like, if I was there, that shit would have never happened. We was in the same compound, in the same unit. And me and him used to walk the yard together in Southwood in 97. He said that shit would never happen.
I don't think Vito could have stopped that. I don't know if he could have stopped that if he tried. He probably could have talked Pac out of going. You know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. But
that was the only one Pac really respected like that.
Yeah.
That was the only one Pac really respected like that. So you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna keep it a buck with that. Yo, facts up,
OG Classic Jones. Fatal was a wild boy, man. Definitely wild boy.
Pretty much a young kid, almost like he was young, you know what I mean? So, and if you hearing and the way Pac is, he's loyal. If he's with you, he's with you. If he hates you, he hates you. But his loyalty, I believe his loyalty is what really causes death. Being loyal and word was already that the reason why that chain was trying to be snatched is because it was a bounty on that chain.
So Tupac, he only confronted Orlando because of Puffy. And, Tupac, he ended up getting killed over something that he did. But the only reason why he did that is because of Puffy. How is nobody confronting Puffy and asking Puffy anything, man?
At the end of the day, there's no proof. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just like, when all of this happened, Puffy was in New York somewhere. You know what I mean? So there's no proof about it other than, to be honest, even if we feel that way, but we know how the law work. You know what I mean? It's just that if you don't have any proof, then what's going to happen? That's why I said at the end of the day, the ultimate judgment will be the next life. You understand? But Puffy he's not a dummy. And America's a place, and we know America's a place that money talks. Money talks, because when you got money, you have people in high places, and you know what I mean? That's how it is in America. Money talks. Money buy friends. You understand? So, but we all know at the end of the day, the next life is we're not escaping that. Money ain't gonna help us in that life.
I don't think I ever asked you this, but did you hear about the hit that Puffy put on Tupac and Suge for $1 million?
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah, like I think I did definitely heard about these rumors that, like I said, it won't be surprising to me, to be honest. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, I heard about the rumors that, Puff paid the money for Pac for Suge. I'm not surprised of that. Like, it don't sound far-fetched to me.
So Puffy was really, really scared of Tupac and Suge.
Definitely, bro. He was his whole get up, his personality is just a nervous individual. And when you scary and you got money, like scary people, that's why we say a lot of these cats kill.
How the fuck do that? Yo,
again, back to me saying none of this shit makes sense. None of it. None of this shit makes sense. Like, first of all, everybody should be accountable. Pac shot Cash Cow. So when the dude came over, and even first of all, he's wrong. Whoever the dude was, from what I'm understanding, he's big time gang member. Why the fuck is you walking to Pac to tell Pac that nigga snatched your chain? Why? That's first of all. That's fucked up bullshit. Knowing that this boy Pac a hothead, and if you with him, he's gonna ride. That's just what he do. Second of all, everybody that's around, I'm bringing Frank Alexander too. All of y'all that was around Pac. When he's talking to Pac and y'all see Pac rushing off, everybody want to nigga run, catch him, grab him. He shouldn't have gotten nowhere near this boy at all. And I also blame Pac too, because Pac was go get your chain back. We right here with you. That's what you should have said, Pac. All right, nigga, let's go get your chain. You go do what you do. We right here. Pac shouldn't have to swing. So just by him swinging, whether he was claiming gang, blood, MOB, whatever the case may be, that already puts you in it. It puts you in it. So I blame everybody that was around him, because again, from the walk it looked like he took to get to Orlando, that was enough to where you niggas could have ran and stopped him, or somebody else could have ran up and hit Orlando before he did. But y'all allowed him because, again, everybody around him, like they said, is gang members. You know what I mean? And the bodyguards that are around them, they're bodyguards, but they're not going to do nothing to interfere with the gangs, because they got to come back to death row. And truthfully, you niggas are security guards. You niggas are ex-cops. You niggas are security guards. So them fucking you up, that's just you going to the police and filing a report. Shit ain't gonna mean nothing to the cops after they fuck you up. The gang niggas. And somehow, some way they're gonna get you not to tell. And you know the rules, it's fucking rules to this shit. So that's why I don't get none of it. I don't understand, like how could y'all let the motherfucking cash cows, and that's going for both sides. I'm mad at Puff too. Nigga, you know what the fuck was going on with that East Coast, West Coast shit. It ain't about being no motherfucking tough guy, ain't about being no gangster, nothing like that. You and Big was not supposed to get on that flight to go to California at that time. Pac is dead. This is still five months in of him being gone. And you're the fucking blame to everyone, to all the masses that's in California. Why the fuck are you two going to California? Why? Because you felt like you had the security from the Southside Crips? Is that what it is? Because them motherfuckers wasn't around when Big got hit. None of them, from what I'm understanding.
No, James
was the only one there that really had weapons on it. Everybody else is there. Even his what's his boy D-Rock? Did D-Rock have a pistol? No. D-Rock had a pistol on him?
Yeah, Gene.
No, Gene said he gave the pistol to the other boy that's in the car with him. He said he ain't get one of them. Okay, so now if that's true, I'm even more pissed because wasn't D-Rock in the car with Big? Why D-Rock didn't fire at that car? If D-Rock had the pistol, he was in the car with Big. I mean, Big's hit already, boom, boom, was coming through. But by the time he started and he turned the corner, no one said that D-Rock hit the corner, at least tried to fire at the car, see something, whatever.
Hold on. What I want to know is why Puffy didn't have cars.
Right. That's another thing. Why Puffy didn't have bulletproof cars? Why? Like none of that shit makes sense. None of it. None of it at all. You know what I mean? Like the whole see, it's too many questions that's just not answered, man. It's too many questions that's not answered in both cases. And if Orlando is the shooter or whatever the case may be, it's still questions that's not answered in the Pac case, just as well as the Bigs.
Sure, Orlando was the shooter, bro. We all know that.
I don't think he was the shooter. I don't. It don't make sense. Not from where he was sitting at. It don't make sense. But
they said the big dark arm.
Yeah. So which means it was either the driver, the dude he's dead too. I think his name was Corey. I think. From yeah. So that's with that. But the big shit, it don't make sense. It don't make sense to whereas whoever did the shooting the bigs, that person had to be some type of a marksman damn near. Because the shots were too accurate. They were too accurate. And another thing, we're downtown Vegas. I mean, we downtown LA when Big got hit. Downtown LA is a wild scene with police. How come that and Big got hit right on the strip. Right. And how come that shit was so dry? What I mean by dry is there was really from what I'm understanding, really wasn't no cars coming through. This is a party that just let out. That don't make sense. The people that was sitting there, it's a video out there. Somebody is like sitting like up a little bit, and they hear the shots. Big and them just pulled out. Now they hear the shots. It don't make sense. I don't know. This shit crazy. I don't know, police, man.
A lot of guys today who talk about they're gonna bust their gun and they'll do this and they'll do that and so on and so forth. Yeah, they might shoot another black man, right? But like I said, in the incident, like you said, when we seen Tupac, when I first met him, the crazy part is on the first night that I met him, he was busting his gun in the air to back some dudes up off of, who were throwing bottles and so on and so forth, trying to get up at the concert that I told you about at Bowie State University. You see what I'm saying? And so then you go to the incident in Atlanta with the police officers. Once again, people talk about being a gangster. Once again, this is a guy who could be minding his own business, seeing somebody in trouble and decided to come out and help him out. Like I said, once again, people use that terminology loosely, gangster, right? But Tupac was tried and true. Under the pressure, he didn't fold. He never told. He handled his business. Despite everything that they offered Tupac to try to take a plea, if you cop a plea to this, knowing that he didn't do it, facing all of that time, 4 years in prison for something I know I didn't do. Look, prosecutor come to you and say, look, all you got to do is plead guilty to this lesser and we'll give you probation. Tupac said, no, I didn't do it. And one day, hopefully the truth will come out. So think about that for a minute. That's the epitome of what a gangster, the definition, not the word, but I'm talking about the definition is. But But like I said, more importantly, Tupac was a man of the.
So you think you know Wix, but do you really? First up, we've got shape video masks. You can use different shapes.
House. And I think you get respected more for that than you do anything, you know, amongst men, amongst real men. When you stand amongst real men who've lived that life, who changed their life, yeah, he was the epitome of that. Not the word, but the deeds and the actions.
I always said this, man. I never heard anything that was more gangster than somebody shooting 2 off-duty cops for harassing a black man. You know, so when people say Tupac not gangster,
if everybody they don't know, Tupac didn't know there was 2 off-duty cops. He just thought there was 2 white boys. He didn't know there was off-duty cops. So stop trying to throw that in the air like that, make him gangster, because he didn't know there was cops. Let's keep it real with that. You know what I'm saying, Tut? He didn't know them niggas was cops.
me personally, I never heard anything more gangster than that.
Once again, like I said, that's the pressure. What you gonna do when the pressure comes? Because remember, the story was that they drew down on him and him not knowing that they were police. So let's deal with the factual matter of that. He didn't know. They didn't announce themselves as police officers. You know what I mean? But even though they didn't do that, he didn't cower away and say, okay, cool, you know, they drew down on me. He's like, nah, you know, and
yo, this nigga was Tupac lover, y'all. This nigga, Delray Richardson and Tupac was lovers. I see all the gay propaganda with Tupac. I see him in the tub with a bunch of white boys put gold around his private parts, like they was draws. So come on, man. Delray, come on, you light skinned niggas. Y'all know y'all be loving some dark skinned niggas. Stop playing, man. Let's keep it real, man. Come on, man. Yo, bruh. Hey, Delray, was you Tupac love on the real? Keep it real, son. Don't lie, man. You and Tupac had a real relationship. Hold on, let me see. You and Tupac were like, how you doing? Come on, man. Let's keep it real.
Nah, I ain't the Tut. I'm not the Tut. My name is Tut, though, but nah, I ain't the Tut Pac talking about.
Yo, hold on. Delray Richardson, was you and Tupac a romantic couple? Because all your shit on your show is about Tupac and the shit Tupac been through. That's some shit a woman would do after her man was killed.
Yeah, see, and it's a couple of cats that do podcasts that do that shit. Like, every day, just talk about, like, I don't have
Hold on. Just like this nigga from Detroit. I'm gonna say the nigga now. I don't give a fuck nobody said it. Get mad yet. I'm gonna give him some shine right now because no shit, he been fucked up a little bit. But that nigga up for the big TV. This nigga love Alpo. All the shows is about Alpo, Alpoology and all this shit, right?
Right.
And Alpo the biggest rat in the world, but you Detroit nigga supposed to be a big gangster, but you keep sucking and kissing on Alpo's ass,
right?
And penis. Come on, man. Let's keep it real, man.
Like I don't got nothing against the boy Choke, but this boy keep Jay-Z penis.
Yo, hold on. Choke No Joke is a fucking rat.
He keeps Jay-Z penis.
Listen, Choke No Joke is a rat. He rattled my boy Johnny Button Jr., my big brother Johnny Button Jr.
Yeah, I know about that. I know about that.
They got 26 years in prison. Johnny Button Jr. is a regular on my show usually.
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, he told her that nigga. He told her 100% that nigga. How you ain't a rat, nigga? You a fucking rat. You can't call him, but you don't got no right to call nobody a rat when you told her nigga.
Like, hey, man. See, this is the first time I'm hearing this dude, this Delray dude. I ain't never heard of him before.
Yeah, Terrence Crawford proved that light-skinned niggas ain't fight. I'll be right. Salute to Terrence Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford, nigga. He beat the bejesus out that boy. That was Texas boy.
Me watching that shit. That shit hurt.
Yo, bruh, he looked like Martin looked after he fought Tommy Hearns.
Definitely. Face not the same. Definitely. I never heard of this dude, Delray. This is the first time I'm hearing.
Yeah, but I've been listening to this nigga. Every time I listen to him, only thing he do is Dick Gobble Tupac, yo.
Man. I don't know. I mean, was he really around Pac like that?
Yeah, he got some platinum records they produced on and wrote on, bro. He got some platinum records. Him and Tupac.
He got platinum records?
Yeah, bro.
Okay, that's I just don't know who he is.
But he behind the scene nigga. He one of them niggas from he's from out there in what shit
He's from
the Oakland
B area.
He's from Oakland nigga, Oakland, California nigga.
Oh, he's Oakland nigga. Oh.
Oakland, California nigga.
That's what's up. And again, there's too many facts that ain't answered. Motherfuckers just ain't gonna give you the answer.
Here we go. Let's go back to him, yo. I like laughing
And
this
he handled his business accordingly, trying to help out somebody that he saw that was in distress. So once again, like I said, not the word, but the actions, because anybody can call themselves a gangster. You know what I mean? They, like I said, they use the terminology real loosely nowadays, and people running around, oh, that's gangster, or this is gangster, and so on and so forth. But as soon as that pressure come, right? They say pressure busts pipes and makes water rush uphill. You know what I mean? 95% of the people, just like when the feds get you for a case, they got a 95% conviction rate. You know what I mean? 95% of the people that get caught up, they fold. So you got 5% of the people that are actually claiming, who don't even claim and want to be known to be gangsters, right? Their reputation precedes them. I know one. His name's Guy Fisher. I don't know you know who Guy Fisher is, but Guy Fisher was a guy who owned the Apollo Theater, right? And when Guy Fisher owned the Apollo Theater, right, Tupac performed at the Apollo at a play that was one of his first plays, and it's documented, called A Raisin in the Sun. The Raisin in the Sun play, right? Guy Fisher.
Part itself. Tupac was not old enough to do a Guy Fisher play, because Guy Fisher went away to prison in the late 70s.
No, Guy Fisher went to jail in the middle, like the early 80s.
Nah, it was the late 70s. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now. Hold on.
I mean, you could be right.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you because I want to be correct.
So what I'm understanding, they got him 2 or 3 years after they got Nicki.
Oh, hold on. It said arrest and conviction in 1984. Guy Fisher was convicted of multiple counts of RICO. That was 1984.
Yeah.
Bro, 1984, Tupac would be 10 years old, bro.
12. Pac was born in 90. No, Pac was born in 71, right?
I thought he was born in 72.
Bro, I think he was born in 71.
But yo. Pac wasn't even on the East Coast then, bro. He was in Sacramento. He was in Maryland, and then he went to fucking Oakland, California, bro. Yeah. He was in Oakland before he was a teenager, bro.
Yeah.
13. But he was already in Oakland before he was a teenager. He was in Baltimore, Maryland, then he went to Oakland. He was even
because you got to realize also, the performing arts, they travel. Those schools travel to do, plays and stuff like that. So it might have been when he was in Maryland or New York. I mean, I don't remember them saying he did performing arts when he went to California. I know he did performing arts in New York and Maryland.
No, he did in Maryland. He didn't do it in New York. He did it in Maryland.
Oh, he did it in Maryland. He didn't do it in New York. Okay, so
he did it in Baltimore, Maryland.
Right. So that it could be that, and I don't know what the age Pac was when he got to Baltimore before he left to go to California. I don't know how old he was. So that could, I mean, that could be possible.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I want to tell you, man. I like to be real. I like to.
Right. Especially the performing arts. You mean 13? You 7th, 8th grade, I think, at the time. So yeah, like you get to perform in situations like that there.
At 14, Shakur and his family moved to Baltimore from Bronx. The family made their home in North Baltimore neighborhood of Penn Lucy. They lived.
So he was 14 when he got to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's very possible he could have did a play for Godfish at the Apollo. It's very possible because that's what those type of schools they travel to do plays and things like that. That's what it's performing arts. Well, that's possible. Possible. It still sounds like it still sounds to me like he talking like he knew Pac, like him and Pac was right hand man.
But he didn't know Pac until Pac was in fucking to play him at Pac years later in fucking Oakland.
Oh.
That's why I don't know, bro.
Part of that whole Nicky Barnes thing, went to jail, still in prison today. And the words that he told Rudy Giuliani when they convicted him in New York, he told him, "You ain't gonna be hearing no call from me like he did from Nicky Barnes." So once again, if you know people who've lived that life, the people who respect Tupac,
thank you, Monique Hill,
Matulu, stepdad, once again, not the word gangster, revolutionary, and all of those things.
84,
a stand-up guy. So like I said, once again, Tupac comes from a long line of people who did nothing but stand up. His auntie Asada, once again.
He went to jail. He went to jail. He got convicted in 1984. But God Fisher was already sitting in jail for like 2 years before 84. He got convicted in 84.
Yeah, they got him. God Fisher was one of the ones that, remember they said that they pulled him over and he had a million or either $500,000 in the trunk of his car.
Yeah, but that was when that happened. That was like 1982. He didn't get convicted in 1984 because he went to trial. That's what I'm saying. So he did a play for God Fisher that had to be 82 if he got locked up in 84.
Yes, that might not be possible.
In 82, Tupac was a kid, a baby.
Yeah, just touching 11. Just 11 years old.
Like 10, 11. And he wasn't in performing arts back then.
No,
his mother was still a crackhead back then.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I'm just saying, bro. No disrespect.
Stand up. She been in Cuba how long? Ain't nobody gave her up. Even the U.S. government tried to go down there and get her. They didn't give her up because she stands for something. He comes from a long line of people that had set that example that if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Bro.
So, like I said, once again, Tupac was the man of the house.
Do you think people make those comments, man? Trying to.
Hey, what you say? What you say?
If I'm not mistaken, I think Matulu passed the other day, bro.
He passed the other day, word?
Yeah.
I don't know that, bro. I just know he just came home and shit. But Matulu was the Tupac father. Let's keep it real, man.
Wasn't
man, come on, man. His mother. No disrespect to Afeni Shakur. Well, Afeni Shakur was a pass around the Black Panther Party. This is what I'm hearing from his real father. All them chicks from the Black Panther parties were pass arounds. How these gangbangers got the blood X and shit. That's how they had the Black Panther chicks. Everybody got a turn. Like a doorknob. Everybody got a turn.
Wow.
I'm sorry, my bad. I just gotta keep it real, man. I came out my tongue with that shit, man.
Trying to throw dirt on Tupac image and try to throw dirt on his legacy by saying that he wasn't a gangster. Do you think they're misinformed, and do you think they have the wrong understanding of who Tupac was as a person? Because he said numerous times in interviews that he wasn't a gangster.
So when I see that on social media and people saying that he wasn't a gangster, and they saying that to try to taint his legacy and his image, do you think them people are just misinformed and they just have
Get excited, America. Your summer escape awaits. So hang on to those swimsuits. Or don't. We don't judge.
the wrong understanding of who Tupac was?
Well, I don't really, like I said, I don't really pay attention to that. First of all, I look at who's saying it, right? So if I know for a fact, number one, they didn't meet Tupac. Number two, they didn't know Tupac. I know immediately, usually they are saying something to draw attention to themselves. That's the power that Tupac had, right? So you have artists, even artists nowadays, right, who come out and they mention Tupac's name, basically comparing themselves to Tupac, or he's the next Tupac, or I should be compared to Tupac, or I'm in the same league as Tupac, or you know, my music is better than Tupac, or I rap better than Tupac. All of those things are said to garner attention because they haven't released a hit record. They don't have a Brenda's Got a Baby. They don't have a Dear Mama. They don't have a All Eyes on Me. They don't have a Me Against the World. So all of those things in the negative comments attributed to him, like I said, once again, those are used as ploys to basically garner attention for something that they have that people haven't paid attention to. And you can see it over and over and over. I think it's actually in a playbook at the record labels
And I'm gonna say
or at the movie company or wherever. Okay.
And I'm gonna say it again. Them Black Panther chicks was pass arounds like the Bloodettes and the Crip chicks are pass arounds.
Right, right.
Everybody gotta turn like a doorknob, nigga. I stop trying to make these motherfuckers bigger than what they are, because they're not bigger than what they are, man. Come on, man.
Right.
I'm not even being disrespectful. I'm just keeping it real. I
get it. I get it.
I'll keep it 1,000, nigga. Yo, if my mother was a whore, I would say my mother, she was a whore. And that's what them Black Panther chicks were. They fucked everybody in the Black Panther movement. They didn't lead the Black Panther movement. Everybody in the Black Panther movement had a chance with them chicks. Huey Newell probably hit. All the other niggas probably hit too, man. Come on, man. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. We all crazy motherfuckers like they Queen Nefertiti or some shit like that, man. Like they Michelle Obama or some shit. Like they Harriet Tubman or some shit. Harriet Tubman was a hoe too. We haven't seen nothing but Harriet Tubman. Like they Oprah Winfrey or somebody. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Like they are grandmothers or mothers. Man, these Black Panther chicks was dropping more draws than Biggie dropped rhymes, yo. Come on, man.
Right.
Yep, I said it, niggas. Y'all get mad at me? Y'all can clip and cut that shit. I said what I said.
Man, you just can't get mad at opinion. Fuck out of here.
I'm just saying, bro. I had an ex that was the biggest whore in Denver, Colorado. I didn't even know the shit at the time. So I know a whore when I see a whore.
Right.
A garden tool. A sack chaser. A blowfish. Yo, Monique Hill, my bad. Monique, you know I gotta keep it real, Monique Hill. I can't even front, bro. Yo, sis, I can't front, sis. You know what I mean? I seen the shit. What she said, Monique Hill said, that's true, King New Jersey slides. They share them broads. My father even had a piece of Shana Shakur.
Right.
My old God, he had a piece of Shana Shakur. Yeah, I don't want to believe. I ain't gonna believe me. My father was a minister of the Nation of Islam. He smashed some mad shit.
Hey, I believe it.
He just was a pull-out champ. That's why I'm his only son. He's a pull-out champ.
Pull-out champ, or maybe. Pull-out champ. Oh shit.
He's a pull-out champ.
That shit go in every motherfucking gang thing you name. Like if female want to join, you know you gonna go down the line getting piped.
You get piped by the whole crew.
Right.
Even we in the hood. We in the hood, yo. Yo. We got chicks that come running about children. Kick with the whole crew. We get smoked out, we get drunk, we drop a couple of pills. Next thing you know, she's in an abandoned apartment building, getting bent over by 10 niggas.
Yep.
And I ain't the type of nigga, I ain't shit like that. I'm stingy. I'm stingy on that shit. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? I'm stingy, but I ain't sharing. I ain't running to trade no chick. My penis won't get hard.
That was never my thing. That train shit was never my thing.
Never my trade.
That was never my thing. I ain't believe in sloppy seconds and all that crazy shit. Man, I wasn't the one that was gonna sit there after I finished. Now somebody else was going. I ain't with all that shit.
No, bro. Hell no.
I ain't with all that.
If I fuck you, I want to fuck you more than once. I don't want to fuck you, God.
I ain't say that, but you know, man, it might have been times it's a one-off. Ain't no man in America never say they ain't no fucking no booger. We all touch the booger. We all touch the booger wolf once or twice, not a lot.
We touch the booger wolf, but just because the booger wolf don't mean it's a whore.
Right. No. Not saying that. I'm just saying, like, when you just say, like, you know, if I fuck you, I'm going to fuck you again. You know? Sometimes we have booger wolves where it's okay, we want to get that one out that day. All right, I'll let you never.
Well, Joe, I'm about to end this right now. Let me end this with my little bro, Christian. Hold on 1 second, y'all.
Yep.
I'm about to be real political correct right now. Hold up. The streets are popping, around me, a person. Here we go right here, yeah. Here we go. Yo, King of New Jersey, niggas.
Bro, what up, y'all? You know who it is, your boy JD Kiss, you know what I mean? Right now with Christian. Shout out to Camden, New Jersey, all my niggas out there. Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
BTBTV. Christian, man. Yo, born, let's get him, man.
Yeah, never off plan. Used to get busy with them guns in my hand. 4 or 5 or a black 9 with a grand in my pocket and beef cool as a fan. BTBTV, we are not playing. Y'all just talk, we back it up and down. Sideways, F what y'all saying. We Kyrie and Kanye. This a boss talk, so you clowns should just fly away. Hop on the bridge, throw your frame off the highway. This not a game, this is business, this my way. Real talk, your opinion is nothing to us. We gon' stay on chill, long as y'all don't violate. But it's not fair. We could be cool or your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear. And you could be my friend or enemy, I don't care. And you better beware. Cause we coming for the whole pie and we don't share. No, it just ain't fair. But we the best, I swear. We the best, I stay up in the mix. A project politics, my mood kinda sick. Name well known from the hood to the sticks. 100 on the highway, flying so fast, burn the gears when I shift. Some people kick dirt on your name, what shoes you gave them. Broke your back for them and they got the nerve to play you. Kick rap's door off, pushed and shut my way through. Bum rush the kitchen, put my floor up on the menu. The jealousy be hitting up in jokes. That's why I stay serious like David Banner turned in the Hulk in pure form like the Pope. Haters get infrared beams with the scope, so run and get ghosts. We fight good, boxed in like Floyd on the roast. I'm the great black hope. Man, we the team, and they know it coast to coast, and it just ain't fair.
Hold up, Monique Hill, but I almost cursed you out. I thought you about to say OG Sonny Blanco. I was about to say, that nigga's a whole ass nigga that takes a lot of penis in his mouth. Almost said that. I thought you about to say him, bro. My bad, Joe. All right, we good now. You ain't say OG Sonny Blanco. You said OG Hill. All right, OG Sonny Hill. We good. That's that.
Sonny Hill from Philly? Cali, okay.
We could be cool or your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear. And you could be my friend or enemy, I don't care. And you better beware. Cause we coming for the whole pie and we don't share. No, it just ain't fair. We the best. If you with us, put your lighters in the air. No, it just ain't fair.
BTBTV.
Just ain't fair, man.
Yo, Egypt said hi, y'all. Look at Egypt. She said hi.
What's happening, Egypt? I'm out of here, bro.
I'm a no gang, no gang, no gang, no gang, no gang, like ooh. What's all this commotion? Grown men got like females, ooh. Making moves, ain't gon' lose. Mama ain't raised no fool. I'm my own gang, do my own thing. I'm my own man, nah, ain't you. Cuz just hit me on the line, say he up in the city, said Nick come through. He from Philadelphia, known as Philadelphia. They the fam, nothing new. I ain't got too much emotion to feel in for those trying to mess up my mood. From a place with a beef on fire, Camden East Side, ain't nothing new. Remember nights when we used to do crime, we dropped dimes on all we knew. If we got caught, we did not rap, we'd rather lay flat before we ever told. Cause loyalty still mean a lot to me, even though places on earth is a zoo. Think politics and presidents is gonna save them. Man, I thank God I ain't nothing like you. Ooh, we just smoke the cloud, we don't die. We done seen war and survive. We done got bored with the vibe, but gang, all the on tough, yeah, ride. We ain't trying to run me outside. If you ain't king, don't pass no mind. Cause we do not recognize those who are faking. We militant, we don't play online. I'm a no gang, no gang, no gang, no gang, no gang, like ooh. What's all this commotion? Grown men got like females, ooh. Making moves, ain't gon' lose. Mama ain't raised no fool. I'm my own gang, do my own thing. I'm my own man, nah, ain't true. Not killing with bars, I get them with truth, but they call me frivolous, ooh. I do not beef on computers, I am no fool. No, I'm nothing like you. Every day I am on guard, but I cannot call whoever who faking my crew. I just know the back door isn't heavy, so I keep my eyes on everything that I see move. Some call it rude, but I'll call it militant vibe. We do not smile, refuse to go back and forth on computers, and we are too smart to act like we don't notice. Some notice the flow is like nah. They to give me the cosign, along with what's rhymes to crack. Say come back and see him when I was completed, and I'm gonna make it your time. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm floating on cloud nine. We protect the heavenly, mama. Don't worry about me dying. God got me, I'm fine. Believe. Don't mind me. I'm floating on cloud nine. We protect the heavenly, mama. Don't worry about me dying. God got me, I'm fine. Believe. Yeah, I'm a no gang, no gang, no gang, no gang, no gang, like ooh. What's all this commotion? Grown men got like females, ooh. Making moves, ain't gon' lose. Mama ain't raised no fool. I'm my own gang, do my own thing. I'm my own man, nah, ain't you.
You want that gang shit? Gang, nigga. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, a little bit of that Rick Ross.
No smoke. Let's go. Ross. Let's go, no smoke. They wonder will he stop? He can't stop us, do or die. Remember running from the cops with loaded 45. These ninjas ask me how I'm doing, I'm like I'm more than fine. I'm sitting on like 20 stacks I got from off the rhyme. Don't worry about what we do. We do what we want. Back in the day, they used to know me for stunting. Man, who is you? I don't know you for nothing. Hopped in the black Lex coupe that go vroom left one. Don't make me go loco. No, nah. My life graphic, that's no lie. I could be broke, still get fly. Y'all want no smoke. Nah.
I'm stepping out clean. My nigga Young Mob, the boy in DPC. When I'm up in the D, we gon' start like a dog. My niggas drop out of school, but we subject to ball. Don't worry about the crackers, cause the crackers ain't shit.
Yo, this the king of New Jersey. I'm from East Swift. I do my real ill shit. Hold the fort down because I am that nigga, bitch. Hold the fort down because I am that nigga, bitch. Hold the fort down because I am that nigga, bitch. East Swift, stand up, New Jerusalem. Can't stand up, New Jerusalem. Yo, Brick City, stand up, New Jerusalem. We here, nigga, you know that we doing them. Nah. Yo, peace, 5% nation of God's earth. Salute to the Salaam alaikum, alhamdulillah, rahmatullah, all the true Muslim brothers and sisters out there. This is the King of New Jersey, BTBTV. We the bully, the motherfucking bullies. You know how we do, yo. Nothing but love and respect. Salute to my boy Brick City Tut for showing love, coming on the panel. And salute to everybody who's in the chat today. Real talk. And salute to the wife, Mrs. BTBTV. She know what it is, yo. We out of here. And Monique Hill, salute to you too. Yo, I just had to do something for the people, yo. We out.